Hi everyone, it's Trishna. I hope that you're doing well. Before we get into the topic of this video, if you've been trying to get a reading from me through my Etsy shop and you're wondering why it is down, it is because I have been under the weather. I recently got sick, but my shop will reopen definitely by Monday of next week, if not by this weekend. I'm hoping to actually open it up this weekend because you guys know I cannot go more than a few days without reading for you guys. It's already been a few days. But yeah, I thought in the meantime I would film a video without my face because it's pink and I have to keep blowing my nose and I have a cough drop in my mouth. Whew. I thought I'd use this opportunity to use my fancy new mat and answer a question that I get really often, which is how to read cards. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to read any deck of cards. Well, most decks of cards. I have one caveat to that. Most decks of cards without ever having to look at the guidebook, without ever having to memorize the deck, with not having to know the deck, none of that stuff. You can get started immediately. It only takes 5 minutes. And then there is one other caveat to that, which is that there is one big hurdle, but that happens. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay. So, how to read cards. The first thing is it's important what deck you do this with. Now, you can use this for oracle cards, you can use this for tarot cards, you can use this for Lenormand cards, you can use this for Kipper cards, you can use this for basically any kind of card system that you want to use. However, like I said, there is one caveat to that. You want to make sure that for this technique, that the cards have a lot going on in them. And this deck, for example, is not one of those decks. You can do it with this deck, but it will be much harder because there isn't that much. There's an owl and there's some dots of color. Awesome. Not a lot going on. However, compare that to, for example, this deck where there's more going on. You know, there's a girl looking out a window, there's wand, there's a globe, there's a truck, a guy, library, magic. You know, there's a lot going on in this deck. Or Rider Waite, for example, would be another good tarot deck to use because it is the original or traditional, I guess you could say. And once you really understand that deck, you kind of understand them all, or you can always find a way to do a reading no matter what the deck actually is, what the artist actually has for their tarot deck. But you can also do this with oracle cards as well. This one might not necessarily, this card right here doesn't have too much going on, so not necessarily the best example, but for example, this card does. So you kind of have to feel out your decks, but basically in order to use this 5-minute read any deck, or read pretty much any deck technique, you definitely need to have a deck that has a lot of things going on in them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this deck off to the side. And so the way that I read, if you guys have already worked with me, then you already know this. But if you have not worked with me, I am primarily clairvoyant. I've been precognitive ever since I can remember. And so whenever I do readings, I'm pulling information clairvoyantly and clairsentiently and claircognizantly, sometimes clairaudiently. That part doesn't really matter so much. And so that is typically how I read. But whenever I teach people who are new to the psychic community how to read, this is what I tell them, what I'm about to teach you guys. And here's the thing. Whether or not you were a born psychic, as some of us like to claim and say, it doesn't matter. If you are interested in reading cards, if this is something you want to know, then you don't have to be born a psychic to be a psychic. The fact that you are interested, the fact that you are watching this video, the fact that you are drawn to this means that you already are psychic. You already can do this. If you couldn't do it, you would not be drawn to it. There is a reason why. So that's the first thing that I want you guys to take away from this video is we all start somewhere. We all start differently. For me, cards were not a part of my life for the first 20-something years of me reading. But for you, it may be, you know, like if you're drawn to this, then it's for a reason. I was not drawn to it because it was not supposed to be my method. So I say that because the biggest hurdle, no matter what kind of divination you use, If you are a clairvoyant like myself, the biggest hurdle is always about trust. Trusting yourself, trusting that you are seeing things and you're not just making it up, trusting that it's going to be accurate, trusting that your guides are a part of the process. All of this is about trust, and that is the biggest hurdle. So I want you guys to know from the start that if you're here, it's because you are already a card reader. You just need to know how. That's all. 5-minute technique. Very easy. Okay. What is that technique? All right, I tell you. So, we are going to shuffle here. And we're going to do this together. You're going to read starting now. All right, so let's see. How is my day going to go today? You shuffle. You can shuffle like this and wait for a jumper card to come out. You can randomly find a spot and we'll pick one. You can fan it out and then you pick one like that. Okay, great. Doesn't matter how. You can change it up anytime you want to. Boom. How's my day gonna go today? All right, so here's what you do, 5-minute technique. You look at your first card and you say, okay, what stands out to me in this card? For me, I'm noticing this girl's braid. I'm like, oh, that's a great braid. It's nice. It's pretty. It's going with the wind. She's obviously dancing. So my day is going to be good today. I think it's going to be good. I think that it's going to have some fun in it, or it's going to have opportunities for fun. As I say that, though, I feel a tension in my body. I feel a little bit restricted. I feel like, you know what? It's going to be fun, but there may be some restrictions that are happening that won't allow me to have as much fun as I want. And so that's going to feel restrictive. So that would tell me right now, okay, the day's going to be fun, but there may be certain rules, and there may be somebody who is around me when I'm having fun that doesn't want to have fun, and so I feel restricted in it. Maybe they dampen my fun. That might be something that comes up for me. And that's how I know what's going to happen in my day. Now, you may look at this card and you may see something different. You may see the tambourine. And, you know, I may look at this card tomorrow and be like, no, I noticed these torches. You know, every time that you look at these cards, you're going to notice different things. I've worked with the Rider-Waite for several years now, and there's still times when I look at that deck. And by the way, I've done hundreds of readings, so I'm using these on a constant basis. It's not like once a week thing. It's not like pull one card a day. It's like I'm pulling card after card after card after card, day after day after day after day. And there's still times when I look at these decks and I catch something that I've never seen before. I'm just like, oh my God, was that there the whole time? Like, was that there the whole time? So you're going to notice different things. You know, like right now, I may look at her expression and be like, oh, she's sad, right? Another day I may be like, no, she's contemplative, or she's contemplative, or however you say that word. I may look at it another day and be like, no, she's tired. I may look at it another and be like, no, she's at peace. It's going to look differently to me just depending on what the guides are causing me to notice. It's going to look differently to me each day depending on what's going on in my psyche or the psyche of the person that I am reading. So these cards are very, very dynamic, and that's all that there is to it. I'm going to have fun today, or there's going to be a lot of opportunity for fun, but it's going to make me feel, there's going to be something that restricts it. It's going to make me feel a little bit sad. It's going to make me feel a little bit trapped. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about it. That's what her expression is telling me here. But I see this hand, but there's going to be an opportunity. Maybe that person that's being restrictive or being a bit of a letdown is going to have an awakening in that moment, and they're going to join in on the fun, and we're going to be able to have fun together and enjoy these torches and actually have fun together. But it may be a bit of a process to get there. I just need to know that so that when I get down, I don't stay down, and I allow this gift to come in so that we can have the fun that we're going to have later on in the evening. So that is the 5-minute process. Now you know how to read. Let's do another example here. What is the cause of a problem that's going on in my life right now? Think about a problem. What's causing the problem? Let's see. You. Boom. Yang. Okay. What stands out here? Obviously, we see the word yang, so that can represent masculine energy. But first, what's popping out here? Okay, for me, I see this ball right here, and I see a nose. There's a nose inside this ball. There's a face right here behind there. Okay. So maybe I'm what's it called? Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. Okay. Nose. Did I already tell you guys I'm sick and that my nose has been stuffy? What's the cause of my problems? Oh my God. That's so literal. Wow. That was not planned. Oh my goodness. What is the cause of all my problems? My fucking nose. Fucking nose, guys. Absolutely. Because the rest of my body feels good now. But it's like, it's my nose, you know, it's my nose making it hard to breathe and hard to do readings and just like, oh man, okay. What did you guys see for you? What's the cause of your problems? All right, let's pull another one. That's too funny. You know, I was thinking like, I don't know that this video is as organized as I want it to be. Maybe I'll redo it, but no, we're gonna keep it now. I'll do another one if you guys want another one. All right, what's the cause of my problems right now? Breathe. Oh my God, what the hell? I can't breathe. Okay, anyways, we're gonna treat this one like it's the real one now. Okay, breathe. What stands out? So we have an old lady, she's a fairy, she's meditating. But what stands out to me here is this bubble, right? Not being able to see clearly if this is a crystal ball. See, I turned this bubble into the first thing that came to mind, which is a crystal ball. And here it looks a little bit cloudy. I don't know if you guys can see. It looks a little bit cloudy in that ball. Not being able to see what's coming up ahead. Not being able to see very clearly. Maybe being too close to it. You know, my nose is right up against it. Too close to what I want to see. Maybe I need to take a step back. Maybe I do need to breathe. I need to relax. Calm down. Put this off to the side. It's off to the side here. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Off to the side. It's off to the side. I hope that I have not been messing up this camera angle here. Maybe I will need to redo it. So that's what I noticed, right? So that might be the cause of some of my problems, is I'm too close to it. I have my nose right up against it, and I need to take a step back. I need to breathe. I need to keep myself open. Look, these hands are open. Keep myself open to allowing myself to receive. When you meditate, you receive the guidance that I need through the heart. The face here is in the heart. Right? Opening up the heart, being open to that, putting the stressors to the side. And these stars are here. I will get the magic here too if I follow that. All right. So basically, you find a deck that has some stuff going on in it. You shuffle the deck, you pull the cards accordingly to whatever you feel in that moment. Then you look at the cards and you see what stands out. And then you notice any associations that come from what stands out. Nose, crystal ball, right? And you notice any sensations that come up as you read. I notice the braid. She's having fun. Oh, but now I feel constricted. I feel like I can't let loose completely. Something's holding me back. So notice your sensations, notice other things that relate to it that come up, notice any smells, notice any words that come to mind in your head, just anything that wants to pop up, any feelings, any emotions, and tie it all in together. The other thing that I want you guys to know is when you're new to this, it's not going to come up so quickly, right? Because you're new. And that's just how it goes. And things may not be so specific. I was able to get a very specific message. But when I was first reading clairvoyantly, with the cards that came a lot later, but clairvoyantly, when I did it on call, I got very, very vague messages. But that's okay. That's just how it starts. And the more you do it, the more specifics you start to pick up on, the more you start to trust yourself. That's the big key. That big hurdle is trust. The more that you start to trust yourself. The other thing I want to let you guys know is if you're stuck, remember to pull out clarifier cards. If you don't know what's going on, pull another card, right? When you're learning, remember, if you are learning through cards, this is the language that Spirit is speaking to you through, right? It's speaking through the cards. If you're not getting the whole message, Pull another card. Maybe this is just part of the sentence, right? Okay, finish the sentence for me, Spirit. Give me more. What else is happening? Oh my goodness. Major Arcana 3 in a row. So pull more cards. Now, you don't want to pull cards to get a different answer, right? Because you need to know that the answer doesn't actually matter. What matters is, what can I do about the answer? And what matters is, yes, what is the answer so that I know how to change it? Over here, we saw that, okay, I'm going to have some fun, right? There's going to be opportunities for fun, but it's going to be restrictive, right? Restricted. I'm not going to feel good about it. It's going to get me down. But there is an opportunity here where whoever's restricting me may come back around and we'll end up having fun together, provided that I don't get stuck here, provided that I let them offer me their second chance back, right? Provided I give them a second chance, and then we'll have fun together. So knowing this, it's like, okay, now I know what's going to happen. Number one, I can emotionally prepare for the situation. Number two, I know to accept the offer, and then we can have fun together, and I won't be surprised. And number three, I can decide, hey, you know what? I kind of want to cut through this whole part, and I just want us to have fun together. Let's just cut through this whole mess. And I can do manifestation and intention setting to be like, hey, thank you so much for letting me know this, Spirit, but please allow us to have fun from the get-go. Please allow whatever is stressing them out to dissipate. Please allow them to find comfort earlier, sooner, rather than later. And please allow me to help invoke that comfort in them so that we can have fun from the get-go. You know, you can set your intentions that way. So 3 things you can do with these readings without having to feel stuck in the reading. The readings do not take away your power. They do not tell you a set in stone future that you must experience. Sometimes yes, but a lot of the times no, you can alter it. You can make a difficult situation better and smoother with intentions. You can make a difficult situation better by being prepared for it, not taken by surprise. You can make a difficult situation better by knowing how to handle it and giving that second chance in this particular case. So, let me see if there is anything else. The other thing is here you notice that I allowed my imagination to come into play. I saw this bubble. I went to crystal ball, right? I allowed sensations to come into play. I allowed feelings to come into play. Over time, you'll notice that these images start to come to life. You know, like sometimes I'll actually see them moving and I'll see a story playing out in her face. Or I'll see them moving and dancing and maybe going towards the tent or something like that. So imagination is not something to mistrust. It's something that actually plays an active role in this process. And the more that you work with this, the more open to those insights you will be, and the more your imagination will come into play. And finally, if you feel like, you know, I'm seeing things that are standing out, but is it the right, two more things actually. If you're seeing things, I'm like, yeah, I saw the tambourine, Trishna, but you saw this. Maybe I saw the wrong thing. You did not see the wrong thing. Because all messages are fractal. All messages are part of a hologram. You can get any message from any card and any answer from any card, no matter what symbol you see. That is the greatest gift that I can tell you from clairvoyance is I used to get just one little snippet, one little strange abstract image. But if I just relaxed into it, if I just, there we go, just relax into it, you receive all the clarity you need. That's exactly what I used to do when I was younger. If I just relax into it and allow the image to kind of come to life, that little image would turn into a whole movie or would turn into all these other aspects. And I could get an entire reading from just one image. I can still get an entire reading from just one card, right? Because I allow it to come to life. If you notice this instead, you may hear ringing, ringing, ringing. What's the beat? You know, it's like, oh, it's a steady beat. It makes me think about, maybe a drumming circle. It makes me think about a drumming circle for a wedding ceremony. Oh, I'm going to go to a wedding and it's going to be a little less traditional than normal weddings. That's probably what's going to happen in my near future. That might be what you got from this. So, or, you could get the exact same message that I got, but by looking at something different. You may have noticed the torches and been like, yeah, I noticed the torches. And I didn't notice her hair, but the torches are there. And I noticed them dancing and, and they're having fun there, but also they want to escape and they can't because they're stuck here. There you go. You're getting the exact same message that I got of having fun but feeling restricted by looking at this braid, but you're getting it by looking at this torch. So whatever message you get, you need to trust it. And it doesn't, you can't get it wrong, is what I'm trying to tell you. You can't get it wrong. You can look at anything and still get the same message, just looking at a different thing, because your brain's going to notice something different, right? Because we're all different, we're all unique, and Spirit speaks to us in a way that is unique to us. And that's one thing that I like to tell people, especially about clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, all of that kind of stuff, is people love the idea of being clairvoyant. You know, that's considered like this, epitome, like the top of the scale. If you're clairvoyant, like you're spiritually awakened, and that's what you ought to be. But that's really not it at all. Clairvoyance is great, but it's not the end all be all. Like every person works differently, and sometimes I actually prefer the clairaudience portion because I'm getting the words, I'm getting the exact message. I don't have to look at this image and decipher it and figure it out. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Claircognizance, boom. So there is nothing that is better than anything else. Okay, so as long as you know that, you know, just work with the way that Spirit wants to work with you. That is the best way. The best way is the way that works best for you to get the message, because that's what you're trying to get at the end of the day, the message. The how doesn't matter. The message and what you are able to do with that message are ultimately what matter the most. Okay, final thing. If you are looking at this and you're like, I don't know what stands out to me. Everything stands out to me. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So what you might want to do is just take a few deep breaths. Just take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes. Take 3. I can't do it right now. Sorry. It just makes me laugh. Okay. Take 3 deep breaths. And then you'll be in a calmer state and kind of gloss over with your eyes. And just notice what stands out. And if you're just like, well, this stands out, this glowing ball, but it's the most obvious thing, that's fine, right? Because that's what stood out to me. And then I look closer and it's like, no, it's the nose. The nose is what stands out to me. It's not just the ball, it's the nose. And then if you notice, then I went here and I went back and forth, open, right? Open and the heart, you know, like the story just starts to flow. So all you got to do is get started and you'll notice that everything starts to flow. All right. I may end up doing this video in a more structured way at some point in time, but I just thought that the nose and the breathing was way too funny. And I hope that this was helpful still. You can see kind of in action how I would do it and do it. Hopefully you guys did it with me as well. If you guys would like a practice, let's do one more. All right. Card already fell out. So this is just a general one. So tell me, what does this tell you, right? No question, but we just have the Fool. What does that tell you? And if you want to answer in the comments, let me know. And then let's okay. Here are your clarifier cards if you need more information. And I know this is like reversed backwards because I'm figuring out my setup. But let's see, do we have a question? What's my key to success? Okay, so look at these cards. These cards are general, but hey, if they give you an answer too, awesome. We're going to pull 3 more cards that are going to answer the question, what is my key to success? And that goes for you. What is your key to success? These 3 cards will answer it. And let me know what key to success you guys got. Here's the amazing thing about this process is you might look at this card, right? Or this card and think, oh man, these are sad cards. But when you read it intuitively, it's so dynamic, right? It's more than just what the cards are supposed to mean. It's what's jumping out at you, what movies are being played within these cards or across all these cards. A lot of times I'll get a seemingly negative card and it will actually give me a more positive answer. And that comes with trust as well, trusting yourself. So I'm definitely curious what the keys to success are. So please let me know in the comments. I hope that this was helpful. If you want me to do this video, but more condensed, more structured, let me know and I will. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next reading.